Okay, come on. You know you want to. I know you want to. Okay, I think we're live. Hey. So, what's up? It's Monday night and I'm okay to go. 2017 snowstorm. I just had it. I thought, you know, given what time of year it is and given I thought it would like be right in the you know, mood or mode or MO or whatever you want to call it. So, right, how is everyone doing this evening? It's about 11:20 on Monday, December 14th. I'm kind of making a YouTube video. No, shoot. I'm making a Facebook Live because I want to get something in there and I want to really keep plugging this again and again. Because it's been a while and I don't get the opportunities to like do walks on the beach anymore. You know, those long walks on the beach we used to do, those long romantic, drama filled walks. Okay. Maybe not so romantic, but sometimes drama filled. Right. Okay. So that being said, what do I have for you tonight? Uh, so, I mean, I don't, I'm like, I'm sort of in a good mood tonight, I guess. I'm in the mood for love. No, seriously. So, I just wanna give me a second. So basically,
And his name is John C.
okay, so yeah, that was like a little fitting there. Monday night. Okay, now to get into the spirit. So, I want to do something on Monday. I just want to keep plugging this, and not necessarily senseless material either. We've gone down like with politics a lot when exactly hasn't been like the most becoming topic to talk about. Oh, yeah. Also, Cuomo is cutting group homes. And I know when people hear that, it's like automatically the first thing that comes to mind is like group homes, like halfway houses, and other like nefarious things. But what we are talking about here, for the most part, are also a lot of places where people with um low functionality who are disabled go a lot for support and for independent living. So the fact he's cutting him isn't that great. And this is after these services were already cut on the federal level under Trump in starting in 2016 and sent like people homeless. Not very cherry. But I want to start out the video with that in particular, and now it seems like pretty crappy to go on with what I like some of the stuff I want to do in mainstay, but I'll do what I can. So right, I think seriously on that, I want to bring it up because we can go on for like years and ages on booing like every politician who does wrong, and Trump's included in that. And we could just be sitting here for good. So I don't want to spend too much time on that. What I want though is like if you are able, go and like I want you to like give a call to Cuomo's office, all right, via email, a letter, and tell him not to cut the funding for the group homes. Because seriously, this is where the $6 billion a year the New York City Police Department, which doesn't have as much to do as it used to, is getting. And this is what people don't get. People are like, you know, oh my God, all these people coming in, take it. It's not that. The people who get booted from these programs are people who are natively born who absolutely need them. And the reason why they get booted is because people like Trump get into office on golden promises that hard work will be made easy if you elect him. And then that never happens. But instead, he passes the cost on to people who can afford being like shafted by the system anymore. And in fact, a lot of these people are your next door neighbors. These, and I'm not going to go on about saying what's better or what's worse, but a lot of these people have, for example, low functioning autistic children. They can't handle themselves. And so they end up on these group homes because it's the only way they can independently live, and they can like be in some form of functional productive member of society, and that's serious. Because that means they're not just like living there, but they're contributing back, and that's important. So yeah, tell them the cut's a no go. All right. Going from that, which was some sort of cherry thing, I grant. Um, yeah, now we're gonna go to the yeah, that was sort of a bummer. So I think what I want to do is like go from that. Oh God, I love this. So right, okay. So now let's move on. I should have like this. I should load a Christmas soundboard on here. Christmas soundboard. Ooh, nice. So yeah, I give me 2 seconds. I'll load a Christmas one because this is like the. Okay, so
Oh, don't you ever clean out that chimney. It's going to take Mrs. Claus till next Christmas to get the soot out of this suit.
okay, that wasn't that bad. So now that we got a different soundboard and finally one I can actually appreciate, let's get on with this then. So what do I want first? Oh yeah, no, you I want like let's just take you, and there we go. And let's see if we can start this going. So, um I really haven't done anything like this in a while. So sorry if this is a bit of a bother. I did not expect it to show up that way. That is not what my intention was. All right, so here we have the Samsung Moga. I was showing you this the last night, in fact, if you were here and paying attention. Um, so yeah, the Samsung Moga is quite an interesting doodad. And basically it allows you to play Xbox games on their cloud or the Xbox One account fully and completely. Um, I'm just like getting into some interesting tech here because it's been a while since I did that. And I can't get a full screen on this, can I? I should be able to. Oh wait, enter full screen. There we go. That's weird. It's not full screen, really. So yeah, the entering in at 34.99 period. Oh no, it's not. It's more than 34. It's $70 actually. But considering you're paying for equipment that will go ahead and like it's going to give you a lot. Oh, also, it's something I didn't mention in last night and the other videos is so this is connected via Bluetooth and excuse me, I just had felt like I had a hurricane coming up. Oh wait, I might still. Hold on. All right. Uh So, I mean, it's quite an interesting thing. So it has a way of connecting in see if I can get this back to full. Yeah, okay. I don't know if I'm back in this. Yeah, the soundboard knocked off for a while. So if I am, I am. If I'm not, I apologize. All right, so let's we go back to Zoom and see if my mic seems to be registering. Speaker, yeah, it seems to be in there. So yeah, just disconnected for a while. My apologies. So I am screen sharing apparently. So yeah, the Samsung Moga by Power A is a great like Xbox droid. And seriously, if you're going to be a serious gamer, I would recommend it. Um I am sort of holding off until after I finish like my finals and stuff cuz I don't want to spoil myself with this right now and then be like, "Yes, I'm here." And like, yeah, no, sorry. But I tried it out for a few days. It's actually rather cool and the gameplay is rather smooth. I would definitely recommend it if you're into it. Yeah, it's kind of fantastic actually. Uh so there's that. All right. the other thing I want to take a look at, which this just came up on T-Mobile when I decided to bring the Moga up, um, is this will do that. So this is the Victoria Bluetooth suitcase record player. It's rather interesting. The price is, of course, again, $70. And it's $34.99 a month, same thing as the Moga, and it's 292. Well, no, 34.99 down, same as the Moga, 292 a month. As you can see from this, although it looks like it has in and out wire connections, which I think are rather cool. And the fact it's Bluetooth means you can hook it up to your device or a computer, and you actually could like insource the the audio from it, and that would be
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
And then you can get all those old records like number of you like really old people love to listen to on your computer and skip the iTunes. Just a thought. All right. So aside from that, we are like going to close this up. Now for the good stuff. This stuff I've really been like, why did that switch over? I did not ask for that. Now we're going to get into like the serious stuff. The stuff I came here for. Okay. So we have a lot of things to like go broke on come next year. So if you thought 2020 was the year for you to go broke with technology, guess what? You were wrong. And if you you just plain wrong. And Apple is definitely working hard this year to make sure that even if you don't invest in a PC, you're going broke. The so the Samsung Galaxy Chromebook is the latest in what Samsung wants to do for the so this is the latest in what Samsung wants to do for the Chromebook. What makes this so cool in one way but so lame in another is it's actually the first one on a more modern Chrome OS. Now, for those of you who don't know what the distinction is, in older Chrome OS Chromebooks, let's say some of the ones colleges are lending out, the Chrome OS is dated and uses straight Chrome uh for its app store. Now, the more modern adaptations of Chrome OS in later books actually use both the Chrome and the Android Play Store. And the way they do that is they run Android emulation, not really, but sort of. It's not really an emulation as much as it's an Android runtime, an actual Android runtime, and it runs on an official Google like store front. So all the things you can run on Android games, even some of those like 3D games which do look halfway decent that you thought, wow, if I could have this on a desktop for the same deal, I'd be set. Well, here's your chance. So yeah, it's not guaranteed to run with everything, but it's kind of like if you buy in to the Galaxy environment or the Galaxy like, the ecosystem, this will definitely like make sure you're set. You're going this one I like in particular because, well, come on, Fiesta Red, a red Chromebook. Seriously, I don't want black. I don't want gray. I don't want silver. I want red. Fire me up. Um, and so that's like the thing, and like at that point, it's sort of like, wow, yes, definitely. Disappointments. I can't say I really am. I am halfway disappointed, and here's why. I think, like, with all Samsung has packed into this, I think they missed a few opportunities, which could be fixed if you're interested in investing your own time and money. One of the things, of course, is it's only 8 gigs of RAM, which if you're going to get a machine you're going broke for, 8 gigs is not something you necessarily want to go broke for. The keyboard seems also to be a membrane keyboard, and I want to stress this because a lot of people like have confusion about this. So if you're going to be anything like serious about your computing, you don't want to be like kept in on membrane. So with that being said, oh my god, you're kidding, right? Buy this together? Who would be that crazy? Buying buying a Galaxy Chromebook. Actually, that's an interesting price up, and an M1 MacBook Air. Well, it would be nothing like I'd be like totally interested in anyway, even though I'm curious at that point. But yeah, so the anyone, if you want to go serious, and I don't think like if you go with any of these lightweight notebooks anyway, you're going to be serious. Anything serious will have to be in the form of getting a separate keyboard. Because membrane over mechanical, you want a mechanical keyboard. That's like serious business. All right. But aside from that, 8 gigs, not great in RAM. 256 gig SSD is common user. Um, a lot of people think it's like high end because it's like an SSD, and that's not the case, as we'll get to um fairly soon. At least at some point here. Yeah, so yeah, no, it's like you really can't justify that kind of like expenditure on that. It's like 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of SSD. I mean, you're talking probably for that hardware build around, oh, I don't know, 650, 700. And then you add in the fact it's Chromebook, which should save you money over Windows. And then you add in the fact it's also the it's got the Samsung store, which may cost you a bit of premium. The nice thing about it, though, if I can go back to it for a second, is that you have this like nice little Galaxy Pen, which everyone falls in love with. It's what you see on the premium Galaxy tablets. It's what you see on the Galaxy Note phones, which they're premium like flagship product. I mean, people who spend on Samsung's flagship products, even like when they get outdated, do so for a reason, me included. My thing's a gazillion years old. It took me a gazillion years to pay it off, but it operates like a computer basically. I can do everything I can do on a desktop, which is quite good. I mean, people who buy iPhones, sometimes iPhones that can do far less, pay more money or the same at least. So it's like, yeah, you invest for what you get. So seeing the smart pen with this is like piquing my curiosity. But the question becomes here is like, is it piquing my curiosity to go like from what I have now, which is a MacBook Air with not that like old of an i7 core and pretty good features on and off. Um, it cost me about 7, I guess, when I bought it. It's not cheap, but it does the work. Don't kid yourself. Um, and then go for this, which is like in some ways it's okay, it's a little bit better. In other ways, it's severely lacking. And the fact we're talking i5 is one of those ways it's severely lacking. 4K touchscreen video though is nice touch with the smart pen. I think I would really appreciate that, including the viewing pleasure and such, but it is a 13-inch. But I think 13 inches are like good if you're going to be on the run a lot and you're using this for more business than anything else. So all in all, it's good. I don't think it's great. Not sure if I'd splurge on the 919.99 that it is on Amazon, but it is kind of cool, and it is a Samsung flagship product. It does have the smart pen, so yeah, it's something to consider. The MacBook Air. So here we go. Wait, hold on. Apple. Oh no, that's the wrong one. So let's go MacBook Air. Let's go with this 13 like inch. So yeah, I have problems with this straight off, and I the number of you saw the other screen, so know where I'm gonna be going with this. But yeah, the Apple, I was excited for M1 hardware because Apple does well when they do their own when they do their own quality control. And here's the chance for Apple to go ahead and go back to that like old style like Mac, like we're building up the world type thing. And sort of getting creative, just like that Christmas beat right in the middle of this. Um, but yeah, so Mac Mac would get really creative back in the day when it was off Intel hardware, and I nowadays it's called Wintel because it's not exactly Intel we're talking about, but it's talking about Intel and its nearest competitor, AMD, who basically run the Windows gambit now. Right. So when they went to Intel, they started like sacrificing quality control and the such, and they really lost it. I think OS X, what's now the acceptable standard for like Mac, was a great decision. But, and here's like where I put that button. It was like done at a time when they were laxing on the hardware and they depended a lot on BSD. Their basis for the modern like um Mac OS is a source base called Darwin, which is a free version of BSD. BSD, in case you don't know it, is a form of Unix. The bottom line is a bunch of programmers got together and they challenged Unix licensing to a whole host of things, and Unix was like forced to like give them somewhat free reign to the works they created. And this is how BSD became. Anyway, so the right, so let's get on with this. Basically, the configuration on both the bottom and top tier is the same. We have an Apple M1 chip, which is supposed to work like um the latest greatest processor and crack and like every other like amphetamine and like really energy like producing thing under the sun, and it's supposed to be like super fast, super efficient, and yet super cool. And this is one thing, if you watch the Apple videos, they actually go on about the fact they can do fanless operation with this because it's so awesome. So yeah, getting off the processor, maybe that's why it costs a lot. But then we get to the actual memory, 8 gigabytes, not stupendous. The SSD storage is 256 for the basic, 512 for the upgraded. And before I forget, these are the only two levels you're going to get for this and the MacBook Pro. So if you're expecting to go to town on this and spend like a lot more money, now don't get me wrong, you can upgrade. Obviously, I'm imagining if Apple screws people that way, it would be totally a disaster at this point because they have like a real nice niche in the market which works for them. So to screw with that would really like um really just do them in. All right. So when we get from there, you get the 256, the 512 SSD on the upgraded model. Both have retina displays with True Tone. Both have built-in Magic Keyboard. And here we go. We have a Force Touch trackpad, which is different from a usual one in the sense that it's a lot more tactile and you can get a lot more um responses from how much you press down on it. For example, like when you're drawing, if you press down more, you create thicker lines, stuff like that. So it really is fun. Um, it's also more responsive for gaming, obviously. Aside from that, it's not the most super thing there. So, right, okay. You also get Touch ID, which is basically hello, fingerprint ID. Nice, not like the most earth-shattering thing. And you get two Thunderbolt and you get USB 4 ports. or actually the Thunderbolt and the USB 4 are the same, and I'm like, "Mm, okay." I sort of dig the whole implementation, but, yeah, so and of course, the, basic model is going to be, like, 999 a month, and the, upgraded is 1249, which, honestly speaking, is not, like, stupendous. It's not like you're going out and spending 1249, and for 1249, you're getting a lot. I mean, even in Apple terms, you're only getting a little here. I mean, I'm looking at an Apple AirBook, Apple Mac Air right now with an i7, and I have to look at the memory, but I believe it's 8 gigabytes, and it's quite a nice configuration, and it was only about 7. So I'm not real crazy about the fact that we're going this route, but let's say it's the hardware that costs you more. I half buy it, and honestly, to go from like around 7, let's say it was 749 even, and then bump it up 200 just because of processor, not particularly crazy. Maybe it's just me. But if they if they can show real improvement, I think that would be great. But I think it's going to be a matter of like seeing how we how these results produce over the coming year or so, which should be fun. All right, so where are we then? Um, so if we go like back to where I was before, um, or no, actually, we wouldn't be going back to that right now. We'd be going back to the MacBook Pro. And I have to say that because things change a lot. So the MacBook Pro is much like the MacBook Air, with a few differences. One is you not only get the Touch ID, you get the Touch Bar. Ooh. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Touch Bar is a digitally changing bar on top where keys such as function keys and that change responsive to the nature of how the computer's functioning. It's hard to explain unless you've really experienced it, and I really want to get so right. Configuration aside from that is similar though. We're talking about the same M1 chip, the same memory, same 8 gigabytes on the lower end model, 8 gigabytes higher end, 256 gigabytes storage on the lower end, 512 on the higher. Same size display, magic keyboard, touch bar, and touch ID on both. Force touch trackpad again, same Thunderbolt slash USB 4 port. What's the difference besides that? I'm like kind of trying to see where that is. I think what's probably going to end up being is something you don't see here, which is the chases, or at least I hope it is. Because right now I'm looking at a price tag of $12.99 for the lower end model, which is already about 300 more than the lower end on the Air, and 14.99, which again is about, I'd say about 300 more than the higher end on the Air as well. Though I'd have to go back. Actually, let me like do that right now and we'll see. Um, okay, it's a little bit less than 300 difference, but still. And, for those who wanna go crazy, this is this is the problem I have with I don't see it here. Oh, wait, hold on, it's in the 16-inch, that will make sense. So, when you're going, and you wanna get real power, Apple will sell you that. Here's the problem, it's not on their hardware. Apple silicone is not being used to build their high-end MacBook Pros, which I think, my opinion, is where it should be if it's honestly what they say. And this is a problem I have. So the actual money is being put on the AMD Radeon Pro. Now, if you don't know serious computing, you're going to go with an Intel Core i7 first to second gen and figure it's the same thing as everything else. And that, in fact, is the biggest mistake you can do as a very new person. I'm disturbed though that there's no USB 4 per se, but only for Thunderbolt ports. Weird. Um. So yeah. There's Turbo Boost available. Oh, like, and because they're AMD processors, they are probably utilizing AMD graphic chipsets. And as if you took a look at those prices, they are serious. The AMD um the basic model, which uses 512 gigabyte storage and where you 16 gigabytes of RAM. See, this is more what you get into when you're serious. So 16 gigabytes RAM, 512 gigabyte storage, and that's, yeah, it's still SSD. You're talking 23.99, and the next model up is a AMD. I just saw that Radeon Pro 5500M, which is the next generation up, 4 gigabyte GDDR6 memory, and 1 terabyte with 16 gigabytes of RAM. And for those who are serious about what they're doing, I saw how you wet your pants. So yeah, that's some serious hardware, and again, that's about 27.99. No, maybe. Yeah, 27.99. I called it right. I mean, because those are serious platforms. It's like if you're going to do anything real with a Mac, like if you're going to produce movies or shows or architectural work or anything that requires a lot of power or serious gaming even. A lot of people criticize that, but career gamers are the most serious users of hardware. I know. I used to do it part-time. It's like, yeah, no, we would when you're into that, even if you have the cheapest, let's say you do have the cheapest, you find ways of tweaking it, you find ways of hacking software to give you better frame rates. It's an obsession. So when you're talking hardware at this level, it's like most people enjoy videos at 20 to 50 frames per second. When you're talking about this, you're talking about pumping out 144 or hertz at 80 frames per second. You're like, I don't know what to compare it to. Um Except that, literally, if you're watching, something like this on there, you'll swear I'm, right in your living room and you're watching me. You're literally facing me. Um, I've gotta get, like, something for the background so I can keep this, like, virtual background going good because the fact I don't is, like, sort of hampering, and as you notice when you turn around, I sort of cuts out and my body cuts out into it. It, like, you'll see, like, things come in and so, yeah, I gotta do something for that eventually. Dream hardware. So I guess my point with Apple is this: I really don't see a lot in their current Air or Pro lines for the M1 chip, because if they were, we would be talking serious numbers like we are with the AMD machines. And notice those AMD machines are like on 16-inch displays where they'll be able to show off like serious skilled graphics, not 13.3. I'm sorry, Apple. You have been at this long enough to know that smaller sizes like that don't show off graphics well. And you don't put smaller displays on computers like that if you have something to show. So it's obvious you're not like trying to show off good hardware. You're trying to build something that makes a common user go wow. And I guess from that perspective, it will do rather well. I'm also disappointed, like, I don't know. I guess I'm disappointed all the way around. So, and now for the next one on my list. Um, so I saved this to last because I want to give you something that could really help you break your budget in a very effective way. Here we go with the Asus ZenBook Flip S. I like this for so many reasons. I mean, it's not power using, but it's not pretending. For one, you know, it's a 13.3-inch display, but it's 4K ultra high definition with OLED. It's not what you would regularly like categorize as average. Also, it's utilizing a next gen Core i7, which is not as good as a Core i9, but for under like 1800, that's pretty good. Also, you have 16 gigs of RAM, and you have something Apple won't even give you for under $2,000, which is 1 terabyte SSD. At the fact you have Thunderbolt USB 4 port, um, and it really is a sweet deal. So let's like talk about this in a serious way. Do I like what do I think of this? I think this is a pretty cool setup. We are talking about like 13.3-inch OLED 4K ultra high def with ultra slim. Like, this is like really sweet stuff. And you look at how practical it is. It's like, and the thing I think I like about this, and the pen's probably really cheap also, but I guarantee you, like on the Chromebook, the Galaxy Chromebook, the pen is kind of cheap as well. Um, it's probably not that great. So let's see if I can get a good shot of it. Of course, I hate the fact that thing is on an angle, but oh, there. I like that whole trackpad idea. It's call me like sort of nostalgic and old fashioned, but when you're doing certain things like calculator function, you want like a touchpad, you want a number pad, and the fact most laptops don't have it is kind of sucky. Here, they restore it on the trackpad, and I think that's pretty cool in a very realistic way. So yeah. Oh. Anyway, so aside from that, we're like going from like AMD to Intel ecosystems. So obviously we're talking a quad core at with 12 meg cache, which isn't bad, 4.7 gigahertz, and we have pretty fast storage and memory. Um, but yeah, I just like the overall touchscreen display. Also, the fact that it has USB 3.2 Type A, um, Thunderbolt 4 via USB C, and a lot of other features, HDMI, Wi-Fi 6, and like Bluetooth 5.0. It's all helping its cause. I I I really like this. And that's the second time this thing like did what it did like that, which is really like messed up. Um
走れソリよ風のように作り手をたどるたどる
okay. That made me feel more Christmassy, that's for sure. So with that being said, I really like the design and everything of this, and I'm sorry my like soundboard pulled out for like the umpteenth time. I think once I fix this setup up, one thing I want to do is like put on a longer
It's like Christmas morning.
Want a Sprite cranberry?
it's like I want to like get a longer like cord for these headphones or something, because this is like getting bothersome every time I like move my head too far one way or the other. Something happens. Anyway, with that in mind, so yeah, I really like this. Um, I don't know, like I like the idea of the Chromebook at first, but I don't like that's messed up. Um, so anyway, I don't like the idea of I don't like the idea that I'm paying so much for like something that doesn't do as much as it could, and that's sort of like I don't know.
It's clipping, bitch. It's clipping, bitch.
You know the rules, and so do I.
走れソリよ風のように
メリークリスマス。
So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun getting this all entangled and getting this set up, but that's what life is for. I think, given that this show has like taken an hour or thereabouts, is kind of like testimonial to where this goes from here. I really do. I mean, to see myself like going any further is like nuts. But yeah, so there you have it. 5 gadgets to make you broke in the new year, if you dare. I know people are like, "Why?" I wanna buy a Switch, and I'm like, "I know." But you see, in my case, I like building something that, like, has in one side, it's like a PlayStation, and in the other side, it's an over built up PC. So I get all the benefits of each, and I can like streamline gaming. I just never have the money for it. A girl's problem. Aw. Yeah. So aside from that, it was a fun day Monday. Not really, but it's sort of okay. Memories of snow. Don't you remember that before COVID took it all away? Oh, we'll get back there and we'll be having snowball fights again. And I promise at some point I'm going to get an arm to hold this mic. So it's actually not something I have to hold up to my face like this while I speak into it, which is okay, but it could be easier. I mean, otherwise I'll go crazier and crazier and crazier till I get really crazy. And then what are they gonna do? Are they gonna drag me out? Or are they gonna like? Where are they gonna? Oh, wait.
Of course. Oh, okay. So, yay! We had a lot of fun, didn't we? No, not really.
But yeah. So in any event, um, tomorrow is this. Oh, I shouldn't say it's tomorrow. It's like 12:18. Like 12:18. It's today. It's Tuesday, December 15th, and we are ending this from a show we started at 11. I know I keep promising not to make these hour-long shows, but I can't help it. I get on and it goes on and on and on. Right. So next up, I have no idea. This will go on YouTube. I can always reproduce these shows and move them from one place to another. And we'll see what happens next. Basically, I want to really start getting back to video making. So hopefully we'll see each other a lot more and we'll have a lot more of these and a lot more fun and a lot more to talk about. 2021. Let's hope for the best. All right. Have a good night.